Yo, what's up everyone? Back for this Saturday slate. We're going to look at the early slate in this video. So let's get right into it. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Let's try to get 100 likes on the video. Yesterday, Clevenger and the Bats just ruined the day right out of the gates. Knew it was going to be a long night after Clevenger just absolutely got rocked by the Orioles out of all teams. But that's why in DFS, you never want to throw your entire bankroll on a night because weird things can happen. But we got two nice slates for today, so let's get back on track. Baseball's been very good the past couple weeks, except for weird things happen like yesterday. The picks myself, I just didn't have some great picks for the batter picks. But let's get right back on track today. Today at pitcher, we have one guy above 10,000. That's Luis Castillo. The matchup is tough against the Cubs. Vegas doesn't like him that much. I mean, the Cubs don't have a small total. Usually when you're paying up at pitcher, at least over 10,000, you're looking for a pitcher that has a sub 3.5, sub 4 run total. The Cubs have over a 4.5 total, I believe. It's supposed to be prime hitting conditions in Cincinnati, and Castillo has been terrible with the walks this season. 49 walks given up. He's given up 11 walks the last two starts, and that's just going to kill him. It's not going to allow him to go deep into games. So I'm not going to be playing him at this price tag. I'll go down a little bit to Zach Eflin at 9,300. I like the spot for him. He's shown plenty of upside this season. Although he doesn't have tremendous strikeout stuff, he's very good at limiting walks, and that allows him to go deep into games. He's already thrown 2 complete games this season, and he's gone over 7 innings a couple times as well. He's gone over 8 innings once. And he also doesn't it's not like he's throwing 120 pitches like Bauer. He's just very, very efficient with his pitches, doesn't mess around, just likes to get quick outs. And in this ballpark, I think it's going to be a really good spot for him. He's been much better against right-handed bats for his career, and this Marlins team is filled with righties. So at 9,300, I like me some Zach Eflin here, considering the lack of pitching options on the slate. And the second pitcher, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm going to be playing Homer Bailey here, 7,100. Might be time to get on the Homer Bailey train. 3 straight games, he's been great. The month of June, his ERA is under 3. He's looked like a completely different pitcher when he's taken the hill the last couple of starts. The matchup is pretty good here against Toronto. Toronto's much better against left-handed pitching. Against righties, they have a ton of strikeouts in the lineup. With Grichuk strikes out a bunch, Teoscar strikes out a ton. Just up and down the lineup, there's a lot of strikeouts. Bailey has been decent with the strikeouts this season. And just the way he's been pitching as of late, I'm hoping he can have one more good start. You never know with Bailey what you're going to get, but I think there's a good chance he can have a 20-point score. And at this price tag, getting 20 Draftkings points will be nice on a slate like this where we don't have top-end pitching that we feel good about. So those are the 2 pitchers I like. It leaves you with 4,200 left for the bats. On today's slate, there's a couple of stacks I like. I like the Twins stack a lot. We get some good value on the Twins just because they're dealing with some injuries. So there's some cheap Twins that I really like. I think the Nationals are fine against Soto. I love the Brave stack. And I like the Rays stack quite a bit. Those are my top teams to stack. And then maybe the Reds a little bit against Quintana here. All right, so I'll go back to Homer Bailey. And let's start it off here at second base. Speaking of one of the value plays on the Twins, Luis Arraez at $3,900. This guy is a hit machine. Just like the catcher that's on the IL for the Twins. He just doesn't strike out. He only has 3 strikeouts this season and 49 at-bats. He puts the ball in play almost every time. He gets a ton of hits. He's hitting almost 450 on the season. And it's only been 49 at-bats, but that's still impressive. Doesn't have a ton of power, but if you're going to be getting multiple hits, and in this game, Nova gives up a ton of hits, and Nova has been really bad to lefties, and he was batting right in the heart of the lineup yesterday. I think he batted 5th, so he should get a nice spot to get some RBIs and get some runs scored here. Facing a guy like Nova, who just gives up so many hits, and facing a guy that gets a ton of hits and Arraez, should be a nice spot. He's also sub 4,000. Like him quite a bit, and this season Nova is getting destroyed against lefties, 557 slugging, 328 average given up. He's getting hit hard against righties too. I feel like it's a great spot to load up on the Twins, and especially a cheapie like Arraez here that's, more than likely he's not going to bagel just because he's so good at making contact. At third base, I like the Braves quite a bit. I like Josh Donaldson here at 4,200. Facing Steven Matz. Hasn't been very good as of late, and Matz gets destroyed with power against righties. He gets destroyed against lefties too in terms of a batting average, but righties are where the power's at against Matz. Donaldson has been heating up as of late. He's not great. He hasn't been great against lefties this season, but that's really an anomaly. If you look at every other season for him, he's been much better against lefties and righties. And Matz, he's had some success against him. This season, like I said, he's not been very good against lefties. It's only a 58 batter sample size, though. But if you look at his career numbers, they are really good against lefties. 280 average. The power numbers are what really sticks out for him against lefties. 289 ISO against lefties with a 569 slugging percentage. And he has a 38% hard hit rate and a 44% fly ball rate against lefties. Donaldson was really hot in the beginning of June. He's gone off to a little cold streak here. I think he can get hot again in this matchup. He has a lot of power, and the Braves are just a tremendous offense against left-handed pitching. So I like Donaldson a lot here. In the outfield, I like Ronald Acuna. He's at 5,300. Love Acuna here. Fresh off an all-star starting selection. He's going to be starting for the All-Star team in the National League. He should be pumped. He deserves it. He's been playing so well this season. He mashes left-handed pitching. As we all know, Acuna mashes lefties. Albies mashes lefties. I like Albies quite a bit too. If you want to play Albies, I would move Arraez to shortstop and play Albies at second base. Acuna's batting .319 against lefties, 5 home runs, 275 ISO, 594 slugging percentage. He has a 49.1% hard hit rate against lefties. I love Acuna here. 5,300, he's expensive, but it's one of those slates where, you have Danny Santana priced just about the same price tag as him. Definitely would play Ronald Acuna 100 times out of 100 times over Santana. You have Gurriel, you have Senzel. You just don't have a ton of superstars here in the outfield that really sticks out to pay up for. So it makes a lot of sense to pay up for Acuna facing a lefty. And last but not least, I like Tommy Pham here. He's at $4,400 facing Sampson. Tommy Pham has been pretty good this season for the Rays. He has some speed. He's been hitting the ball pretty well against righties for power. He hits lefties well as well. And Sampson, he's been up and down, but he still gives up a high batting average and gives up some power to righties, especially. This season, Tommy Pham has been killing it at home this season with a .341 average at home in Tropicana Field. He has 6 home runs there. Against righties, he has a .210 ISO, and he has a 48% hard hit rate. And his fly ball rate is not great, but it's much better than against lefties. Just has a lot of power and has some speed that you can take advantage of, because we know the Texas Rangers, their catchers, if it's Jeff Mathis, it's probably not going to be Mathis because he catched yesterday, I think. But we know their catchers just don't throw out any runners at all. So Tommy Pham can take a base if he wants to. And this season, Sampson has been getting hit pretty hard against righties. 530 slugging, 301 average. And he's been much worse on the road, which is kind of weird considering that he pitches in a tremendous hitting park. But we'll take that if you're going to play some Rays. His strikeout rate is almost 5% lower to righties. xFIP is 5.3. He gives up more fly balls. He gives up less soft contact. Like Tommy Pham here, like some of the other Rays, quite a bit. We'll talk about them when I talk about the other picks. But those are 6 players I think you can start your lineups off with this early slate. And talking about some other picks I like, I think the Indians will be popular. I will not be as heavy on the Indians as some other people. We're not getting great prices on any of these guys, and the stack appeal is just not great with with Jose Ramirez is not going to be in there. So the bottom half of the lineup is still pretty ugly. I mean, you can pay up for guys like Lindor if you want, but Castor's been very good against lefties this year, and you have a lot of switch hitters and a lot of lefties in this Indians lineup, so I'm going to be underweight on them. Here we have the Blue Jays and the Royals. I like, if you're not going to be playing Bailey, you can look at some of the power from the Blue Jays because Bailey does give up some power and hard hits. Like Grichuk at 36, Teoscar at 35, Vlad is only 33. I like Biggio and I like Talese and even Smoke if he's back. That makes a lot of sense. On the Royals, not going to have a ton of interest in them against Stroman. I'll look at some guys with power like Dozier and Soler just because they're very cheap and they can hit it out. Even if it's not against Stroman, against the bullpen of the Jays, I think they can do some damage. Here on the Rangers, they're getting to face a lefty pitcher making his debut in Trop. I'm not going to have a ton of interest just because he is one of the Rays' better prospects, top prospects, and a lefty. Facing all these lefty-on-lefty matchups, not going to be super high on any of the Rangers today. Like I said, I like the Rays quite a bit. I like them a lot as a stack. Meadows is cheap. Garcia, Pham, Choi is only 3,700. Lau at 43. I like the Rays stack a lot today. Here, the Reds, like I said, I have interest in the guys that can hit lefty-handed pitching well. Like Puig's been on fire as of late. I like Puig. I like Suarez. Those are the two I like most on the Reds. And on the Cubs, I look at some cheap guys like Kyle Schwarber continues to be under $4,000, which makes no sense. Schwarber, Bryant, and Rizzo I like. All three are cheap. All three have some great upside. Here on the Nationals, facing a lefty, and they're probably going to go with some bullpen games from the Tigers. Look at guys like Trey Turner at 54, Rendon, Dozier hits lefties really well, Zimmerman if he's in there, and Yan Gomes makes for a nice cheap catcher play. On the Tigers, not going to be really heavy on them just because Voth is, we don't know what we're going to get out of him, but he was good against the Braves in his first start. And the Tigers, they're just not an offense you want to stack. They're not very good. One-offs like Castellanos or Goodrum I'm fine with. But very rarely are you going to win a slate with a Tiger stack. No interest really in this game for the bats, the Phillies-Marlins game. Here, I've already talked about the Brave stack. I like them a lot against Tehran. You want to play the lefties from the Mets. And here, I love the Twins quite a bit. Even though they're dealing with some injuries, it opens up some value with Arraez. I like Crone. Sano is at 41. I like him. And then I like Max Kepler. And I like Nelson Cruz. And on the White Sox, Pineda, I think you can play him if you want as a pitcher. If you're going to be playing some bats against him, I like John Jay here. It's only 3,100. I like John Jay. I like Jimenez at 38. And Moncada, if he's in there, makes sense. And Abreu at 44. So those are some other picks I like for the other slates. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And good luck today.